For millions of parents, there's this quiet, just devastating moment. You look at your kid, who's just full of all this energy and potential, and then you look at the sign-up fees, the equipment costs, the travel, and the reality hits. You just can't afford it. It feels like a door is slamming shut on their future. Well, today, we're going to talk about how to kick that door right back open. And that's not just some nice, hopeful saying you put on a poster. It's the core belief of amazing organizations like the Equal Chance Boxing Foundation. And you know what? It's the foundation for the real, practical solutions we're about to get into. Solutions to make sure no kid gets left on the sidelines just because of a price tag.
So how in the world did we even get here? Well, the system we're all up against actually has a name. And just knowing what it's called is the first step. It's the pay-to-play model, and it has completely transformed what used to be a community activity into basically a luxury good that has priced out millions of families.
And this, right here, is the heart of it. Access to sports isn't really about talent or passion anymore. It's about how much money is in your family's bank account. We're literally talking about turning a kid's game into a luxury item. But, just giving this problem a name, that's the first step in taking our power back.
Look, the fallout from this system goes way beyond just physical fitness. When a kid is shut out of sports because of money, the cost is it's immense, and it's not something you can measure on any scoreboard.
The absolute truth is, for a lot of kids, sports are developmental lifeline. When they lose that, they lose what some people call their third space outside of home and school. That can lead to some serious social isolation. They can end up with a lack of direction, and without a healthy way to deal with anxiety, things can get pretty turbulent. This isn't just about a hobby. We're talking about their fundamental mental and social health.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem and what's at stake. Now let's completely shift gears. This is where we go from problem to empowerment. I want you to think of this next part as your tactical map, a real, actionable plan to find programs that are not going to break the bank. So here are 3 huge resources you need to know about. First, the Police Athletic League, or PAL. It's a cornerstone for at-risk youth and, believe it or not, often offers totally free elite-level training. Second, the YMCA has a program called Open Doors, which offers a sliding scale fee based on your income. And third, and this is a big one, always ask your local Parks and Rec department about scholarships. A lot of times they have them, they just don't really advertise them widely.
Now, let's zoom in on one sport that our source really highlights as a super powerful and accessible option: boxing. I mean, think about it. While other sports require you to buy new, expensive gear all the time, boxing, it strips it all down to just human effort. It's a natural equalizer.
Okay, let's just tackle a common fear head-on, right? The myth is that boxing creates bullies, but the reality, according to the research, is the exact opposite. See, when a kid feels disciplined and powerful inside the gym, they have absolutely no need to prove themselves by being aggressive outside of it.
And what about safety? That's the other big one, right? The concern about danger. But here's the thing. Legitimate youth programs follow incredibly strict safety guidelines. Beginners will spend months just on technique, shadow boxing, hitting the bag, long before any supervised low-contact sparring even happens. Safety and skill always come first.
And this is where we see the really profound mental benefits kick in. Boxing teaches focus, not just pure strength. For kids dealing with anxiety, that intense focus becomes a kind of moving meditation. And unlike team sports, where a kid can kind of get lost on the bench, in boxing, every single kid is the star of their own journey. They build real confidence and emotional control at an incredible speed.
Now, some organizations are taking this whole accessibility thing to a completely different level. The Equal Chance Foundation, which is our source for this explainer, has a model that is designed to eliminate not just some, but every single financial barrier a family could possibly face.
So how do they do it? First up, those pesky registration fees. Gone. Zero. That first barrier is completely eliminated. Next, what about the monthly fees that keep adding up? Also, zero. There's no recurring bill you have to worry about. And finally, equipment. The hidden cost that gets so many families. Professional-grade gloves, headgear, wraps, all of it is provided. This means it's not just low cost, it's truly no cost. No kid is ever turned away because they don't have the right gear. So, knowing all this, what's the next move? This is where all this information turns into action, both for parents who are looking for help and for people in the community who want to be part of the solution. So here's the big takeaway. It really boils down to 2 paths. For parents, please do not let cost be the final word. Reach out to these organizations. And for supporters, you can become a corner man. You know, the person who supports a boxer between rounds. Your donation is what funds the equipment, the coaching, and the safe space these kids so desperately need.
And this quote, this just captures the entire spirit of the mission perfectly. It's not just about sports, it's a movement, and it's built on the fundamental belief that every single child is worth the investment, no matter their circumstances. So, we'll end with this question. For a child out there who needs a chance, for a family that feels completely locked out, the bell for the next round is ringing. The question for all of us is, will we be there to step into their corner?